Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. Let's start Radha Madhav. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha, Jayo Giravardhari, Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana, Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadattikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganara Gunatamitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kirpa Sindhuvevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasdi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Layate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandeshi Gurundin Taranam Paramananda Madham Shritaneshram Hari Om Tassat Naram Namaskritya Naram Cheva Nar Uttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jem Uduriyat Nasta Presha Abdreshi Nitya Bhakti Shokya Bhakti Uttam Shlokya Bhakti Bhakti Neshtki. Okay, so last time we were talking about Krishna's plans for Vidur and pastimes of Manduka Muni and how cursed Vidur as Yamaraj was cursed by Manduka Muni, but that actually became a boon for him because he was able to take part in Krishna's pastime, which he was lacking, he was missing. So he was able to do that and have a very good position, gain a lot of enlightenment, and meet Krishna face to face. So that was very useful. Others also talking about Vidur's compassion for Dhritarashtra, although Dhritarashtra he didn't try to help him. When when Duryodhana was criticizing very harshly to Vidur, Dhritarashtra didn't help him, stayed very quiet. Excuse me. But he still came back to help him as his elder brother. He considered him his elder brother, like stepbrother. And then also we talked about Vidur's meeting with sage Maitreya. So very nice. So let's continue to verse 3. Stop sharing this. Okay, so verse 3 and 4 are together. Tam bandhum agatam dristva dharma putra saha nujaha dhritarashtaro yutsuscha suta sharatavata pritha Gandhari Draupadi Brahman Subhadra Shutar Kripi Anyash Cha Jamyaha Pando Gyatyaha Sasutaha Istriya. So Tam is him, Bandhum, relative, Agatam, having arrived there, Drishtva, by seeing it, Dharamputra Yudhishthir, Saha Anujha, along with his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Yutsahu, Satyaki, Cha, and Suta, Sanjay, Shardavataha, Kripacharya, Pritha, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Brahman, O Brahmans, Subhadra, Cha, and Uttara, Kripi, Anyaha, others, Cha, and Jamiyaha, wives of other members, Pandoho, of the Pandav, Gyatyaha, family members, Sa, Suta, along with the sons, Istriya, the ladies. So Vidu is coming back. He's coming back home to Hastinapur. He was well loved by everyone. When they saw Vidur, like he was Vidur uncle to a lot of the children, when they saw Vidur return to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaj Yudhishthir, his younger brothers, Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Sanjay, Kirpacharya, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, so many personalities in the family, Subhadra, Uttara, Kirpi, many other wives of the Kauravas and other ladies with children, all hurried to him in great delight. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period. So there's so much excitement to see Vidu return back home, and they all obviously missed him because they were so excited to receive him back. So about Gandhari, the ideal chaste lady in the history of the world. She was the daughter of Maharaj Subal, the king of Gandhar, now Kandhar in Kabul. In her maiden state, she worshipped Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva generally worshipped by Hindu maidens to get a good husband. Gandhari satisfied Lord Shiva and by his benediction to obtain 100 sons. She was betrothed to Dhritarashtra despite his being blind forever. When Gandhari came to know that her would-be husband was a blind man, to follow her life companion, she decided to become voluntarily blind. So how often does that happen? So she wrapped up her eyes with many silk linens, and she was married to Dhritarashtra under the guidance of her elder brother Shakuni. She was the most beautiful girl of her time, and she was equally qualified by her womanly qualities, which endeared every member of the court. But despite all her good qualities, she had the natural frailties of a woman, and she was envious of Kunti when the latter gave birth to a male child. Both the queens were pregnant, but Kunti first gave birth to a male child. It's a bit like Aditi and Aditi, that problem. There's problem there as well. That when the sister had the children, others probably had children, and she was she went wrong time. Thus Gandhari became angry and gave a blow to her own abdomen. As a result, she gave birth to a lump of flesh only. But since she was a devotee of Vyasadeva, by the instruction of Vyasadeva, the lump was divided into 100 parts, and each part gradually developed to become a male child. Thus, her ambition to become the mother of one hundred sons was fulfilled, and she began to nourish all the children according to her exalted position. When the intrigue of the battle of Kurukshetra was going on, she was not in favor of fighting with the Pandavas. Rather, she blamed Dhritarashtra, her husband, for such a fratricidal war. So, usually you find in history there'll be some lady involved, whether it's like in the European history or in Indian history, there'll be some lady who's not happy about something, and she will spark off a war. Although here, Draupadi had some hand in it, but it was inevitable anyway. The war was going to happen. She might have fueled things a little bit, but the war was going to happen. But here, the ladies the elder ladies didn't want any war. They didn't want any fighting. They didn't want any division between the family. They didn't see any difference in the family. So everyone is one. Kunti and Gandhari, similarly. She was very affected when all her sons died in the battle of Kurukshetra. And she wanted to curse Bhimsen and Yudhishthir. But she was checked by Vyasadeva. Her mourning over the death of Duryodhana and Dushasan before Lord Krishna was very pitiful, and Lord Krishna pacified her by transcendental messages. She was equally aggrieved on the death of Karan, and she described to Lord Krishna the lamentation of Karan's wife. She was pacified by Srila Vyasadeva when he showed her dead sons, then promoted to the heavenly kingdoms, because they all died in battle. She died along with her husband in the jungles of the Himalayas near the mouth of the Ganges. She burnt in a forest fire. Maharaj Yudhishthira performed the death ceremony of his uncle and aunt. So this is like history in advance, telling her what's going to happen. And Pritha, the daughter of Maharaj Shursen and sister Vasudeva, that's Mother Kunti, Lord Krishna's father. Later she was adopted by Maharaj Kunti Bhoj, and hence she is known as Kunti. She is the incarnation of the success potency of the personality of God. Wow. The heavenly denizens from the upper planets used to visit the palace of King Kunti Bhoj, and Kunti was engaged for their reception. She also served the great mystic sage Durvasa, and being satisfied by her faithful service, Durvasa Muni gave her a mantra by which it was possible for her to call for any demigod she pleased. As a matter of inquisitiveness, she at once called for the sun god. So she didn't even have to think about it. It desired couplement with her, but she declined. But the sun god assured her immunity from virgin adulteration, and so she agreed to his proposal. As a result of this couplement, she became pregnant, and Karan was born by her. By the grace of the sun, she again turned into a virgin girl, but being afraid of her parents, she quitted the newly born child, Karan. After that, when she actually selected her own husband, she preferred Pandu to be her husband. So, although she was inquisitive and wanted to try out the process, which she didn't really believe that it's going to work. Otherwise, I don't think she would have gone through it, and then have a child and then abandon the child. At that time, I think her curiosity got better of her, I would think. So Maharaj Pandu later wanted to retire from family life and adopt the renounced order of life. Kunti refused to allow her husband to adopt such life, but at last Maharaj Pandu gave her permission to become a mother of sons by calling some other suitable personalities. Kunti did not accept this proposal at first, but when vivid examples were set by Pandu, she agreed. Thus, by dint of mantra awarded by Durvasa Muni, she called for Dharmaraj. So thus Yudhishthira was born. She called for demigod Vayu. Bhima was born. She called for Indra, and Arjuna was born. The other two sons, namely Nakul and Sahadev, were begotten by Pandu himself in the womb of Madhuri. Later on. Interesting. Yeah. Maharaj Pandu died at an early age, for which Kunti was so grieved that she fainted. Two co-wives, namely Kunti and Madhuri, decided that Kunti should live for the maintenance of the 5 minor children, the Pandavas, and Madhuri should accept the sati rituals by meeting voluntary death along with her husband. This agreement was endorsed by great sages like Shatsringa and other present on the occasion. Later on, when the Pandavas were banished from the kingdom, so we may have heard this seen in Mahabharata movie, serial slightly differently. So we have to go by the version of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, especially by Nakul and Sahadev. This agreement was endorsed by great sages like Shatsringa and other presents on the occasion. Later on, when the Pandavas were banished from the kingdom by the intrigues of Duryodhana, Kunti followed her sons, and she quickly faced all sorts of difficulties during those days. During the forest life, one demon girl, Hidimba, wanted Bhim as her husband. Bhim refused, but when the girl approached Kunti and Yudhishthira, they ordered Bhim to accept her proposal and give her a son. As a result of this combination, Ghatotkacha was born, and he was going to be useful later on, and he fought very violently with his father against the Kauravas. So he was on his father's side, they fought against the Kauravas. In their forest life, they lived with a Brahman family that was in trouble because of the Bakasur demon, and Kunti ordered Bhim to kill the Bakasur to protect the Brahman family against troubles created by the demon. She advised Yudhishthira to start for the Panchal Desh. Draupadi was gained in the Panchal Desh by Arjuna, but by order of Kunti, all 5 of the Pandava brothers became equally the husbands of Panchali or Draupadi. So we get a summary of Mahabharata here. She was married with the 5 Pandavas in the presence of Vyasadeva. Kunti Devi never forgot her first child, Karan, and after Karan's death, the battle of Kurukshetra, she lamented and admitted before her other sons that Karan was eldest son prior to her marriage with Maharaj Pandu. Her prayers for the Lord after the battle of Kurukshetra, when Lord Krishna was going back home, are excellently explained. Of course, we did that early on, Mother Kunti's prayers. Later, she went to the forest with Gandhari for severe penance. She used to take meals after each 30 days. She finally sat down in profound meditation and later burned to ashes in a forest fire as well. Now, this is interesting. And with Draupadi, the most chaste daughter of Maharaj Drupad, and partly incarnation of goddess Sachi, the wife of Indra, Maharaj Drupad performed a great sacrifice under the superintendence of the sage Yaj. Well, this is interesting because if she's the part incarnation of the wife of Indra, and Indra is supposed to be the father of Arjun, so I don't know. Maharaj Drupad performed a great sacrifice under superintendence of sage Yaj. By his first offering, Drishdumna was born, and by the second offering, Draupadi was born. She is therefore the sister of this Dumna, and she is also named Panchali. The 5 Pandavas married her as a common wife, and each of them begot a son in her. Maharaj Yudhishthira begot a son named Pratibhit, Bhimsen begot a son named Sutasoma, Arjun begot Shrutakirti, Nakul begot Shatanika, and Sadhev begot Shrutakarma. She is described as a most beautiful lady, equal to her mother-in-law Kunti. During her birth, there was an arrow message that she should be called Krishna. The same message also declared that she was born to kill many Kshatriya by dint of her blessings from Shankar. She was awarded 5 husbands equally qualified. When she preferred to select her own husband, princes and kings were invited from all the countries of the world. She was married with the Pandavas during their exile in the forest, but when they went back home, Maharaj Prabhupada gave them immense wealth as a dowry. She was well received by all the daughters-in-laws of Dhritarashtra. When she was lost in a gambling game, she was forcibly dragged into the assembly hall, and an attempt was made by Dushasan to see her naked beauty, even though they were elderly persons like Bhisham and Drona present. She was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and by her praying, the Lord himself became an unlimited garment to save her from the insult. A demon of the name Jatasur kidnapped her, but her second husband Bhimsen killed the demon and saved her. She saved the Pandavas from the curse of Maharishi Durvasa by the grace of Lord Krishna. When the Pandavas lived incognito in the palace of Virat, Kichak was attracted by her exquisite beauty, and by arrangement with Bhim, the devil was killed and she was saved. So they all always had to help each other to survive. She was very much aggrieved when her 5 sons were killed by Ashwatthama. At that last stage, she accompanied her husband Yudhishthira and others and fell on the way. The cause of falling was explained by Yudhishthira, but when Yudhishthira entered the heavenly planet, he saw Draupadi gloriously present, they as the gods of fortune in the heavenly planets. So Subhadra, regards Subhadra, daughter of Vasudeva and sister of Lord Krishna, she was not only a very dear daughter of Vasudeva, but also a very dear sister to both Krishna and Baldev. The 2 brothers and sister are represented in the famous Jagannath temple of Puri, and the temple is still visited by thousands of pilgrimage. So in the form of Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. This temple is in the remembrance of the Lord's visit to Kurukshetra during an occasion of solar eclipse and his subsequent meeting with the residents of Vrindavan. The meeting of Radha and Krishna during this occasion is a very pathetic story, and Lord Sri Chaitanya, in the ecstasy of Radharani, always pined for Lord Sri Krishna at Jagannath Puri, while Arjun was at Dwarka. He wanted to have Subhadra as his queen, and he expressed his desire to Lord Krishna. Sri Krishna knew that his elder brother, Lord Baldev, was arranging a marriage elsewhere, and since he did not dare to go against the arrangement of Baldev, he advised Arjun to kidnap Subhadra. So when all of them were on a pleasure trip on the Revat hill, Arjun managed to kidnap Subhadra according to the plan of Sri Krishna. Sri Baldev was very angry at Arjun and he wanted to kill him, but Lord Krishna implored his brother to excuse Arjun. Then Subhadra was duly married with Arjun, and Abhimanyu was born of Subhadra. At the premature death of Abhimanyu, Subhadra was very mortified, but on the birth of Parikshit, she was happy and solaced. So Parikshit Maharaj from day one brought so much happiness to the family. When something new appears, then the previous miseries are forgotten, at least momentarily. They're forgotten. It's a new beginning and new progeny. So something new to focus on. And so this is what time does. Time devours everything, but it brings in new changes as well. So that was the case here. And let's see what we can add on to this. So Vidura was loved by everyone, and everyone was delighted to see him back, as we've said, because he was a well-wisher of everyone. Vidura was a well-wisher of everyone. That's why everybody loved him. From young to old, or old to young, they all cared for him because he showed a lot of love and affection for everyone. He tried to do what was good for everyone. So, we focus on Vidur. Gandhari is known as the idle chaste lady in the history of the world. She voluntarily chose to cover her eyes. But, like we already know, the brother Shakuni was very upset by the whole process, that he decided he would ruin the dynasty of Kauravas. So we know that. So this war was going to happen. Something had to change, had to give, because there were so many anomalies there that things needed to sort out. Like Yudhishthira should have been king, and Gandhari shouldn't have been married to Dhritarashtra, and then we got other issues. They, Karan and the Pandavas didn't get on, and there was a lot of other enemies. They were lingering. There's so many demonic forces that really had to go, and Krishna was arranging wholesale to get everybody together, and that would solve all the problems, at least for the Pandavas going forward. So, only Krishna can do that. He can plan something that solves so many problems. We normally say, we try to solve two problems with one, like they say, kill two birds with one shot, like that. That's maximum we can do, kill two birds with one shot. But Krishna can, do so many things with one shot. He can, unlimited things with one shot, because he is unlimited, and everything he does is unlimited. So Krishna has chosen the cast of this epic. So it's a pastime for Krishna. He had chosen the cast of this epic, and he had written and directed the whole of the drama. I was like, Krishna knew the drama from beginning to the end. He had already written it. That's how it's going to be. And nobody could change that. You can't change a drama midway in the process. The show must go on the way it was meant to be. He chose the incarnation of his success potency to be Queen Kunti. Draupadi was a part kind incarnation of goddess Sachi, Indra's mother. Indra's mother, and she was of dark complexion, just like Krishna. So eventually, the Kauravas were in the heavenly planets. The Pandavas were in heavenly planets. Draupadi was also in the heavenly planets. Its question was that how can Duryodhana go to the heavenly planets? At the end of the day, this is a drama that Krishna is staging. So people ask her, how come Duryodhana also went? And through this drama, Krishna is presenting many philosophical points, many points of wisdom, many rules and regulations, many instructions to guide humanity to a higher level of Krishna consciousness. So Duryodhana, he got his punishment. He was beaten to death. So he went to the higher planets as well. Subhadra was and in the end of the day, they all part of the team of doing this drama. Subhadra was the younger sister of Krishna, and these dramas are to teach us. They're not. We should not just take them as dramas. We should take them as learning. Learning some lessons. It's not even for the movies. Sometimes we learn lessons. Hollywood, Bollywood. So this is Krishna's way of teaching us through drama, because not everybody is can tolerate high philosophy, or absorb high philosophy. Sometimes we have read before that for some, Krishna has to do some kind of pastime, some drama, so they understand it that way. Some people might understand it through philosophy, or deep philosophy. Others will understand it through pastimes and dramas. So Krishna can do that as well. He does everything, whatever is required. He knows people have different mentality, and he arranges like that, to teach us some lessons. And it's up to us whether we learn or not. But he has so many different varieties of ways of teaching us. Some people just may like kirtan, some like philosophy, preaching, and some like pastime. So he can purify us so many ways. So Subhadra was the younger sister of Krishna. She was born when Krishna had come to kill Kans. Yogmaya is the elder sister of Krishna. She was born in Vrindavan as a daughter of Yashoda and carried by Vasudev in exchange of Vasudev Krishna. She was brought back to Salim Mathura, where Kans tried to kill her. So we know all the pastimes of that. And I think she was reborn again because she died because touched by Kansa's hands. So then she was reborn. So let's stop here. And I think we just done the story of Mahabharata. And let's see what we can get out of this. And we'll start with Hinamata. Yes, Hinamataji. Yes, please. We'll start with Hinamataji. And then we go to Pundikaksh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the class. To catch up now. So, I think this is essentially going into the verses of the story. It's got summaries of the Kauravas and Pandavas, dynasties, their various problems, their issues amongst within the family. And it shows that these family issues existed in previous ages, I guess, regardless of class. These kind of family relationship problems amongst people have exist at all levels. And as you said, Prabhu, these stories are so instructive for people in general. And I understand, I think the Mahabharata has been almost like another version of that out at the moment on Netflix. I think it's called Kurukshetra. So again, another, every generation tries to make another attempt at trying to tell the story. And I think it's great because it keeps the messages alive, the learnings alive, and again appeals to the current wider audience as well, make it current for today's generation, which is what I think they've tried to do. So thank you so much. And I don't really have too much to add today, but thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
absolutely. So just because we love serials, we love movies, so like that, these can be converted into serials and movies, which people have done that and they got a lot of credit for it, which means that people appreciated it. It brought the world to a standstill when these were going on. If somebody was just preaching, you don't get that many viewings, even like say on YouTube, somebody just preaches. How many views do you get? 1,000, 2,000. A serial, millions and millions of people watch. So you got to, for the wider audience, has to be something they can digest easily. Thank you so much, Mataji. Pundikaksh Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada about so many devotees here. Vidura was insulted by Duryodhan, but the Vidura is likened by so many, everybody else other than Duryodhan. And this purport shows that everybody came to see him, and he is not affected by those insults, but still this will give a comfort to him as well, because all those great devotees came to see him and they are eagerly waiting for him to come back. And Prabhupada nicely explained about the character of each devotee in this purport. Mother Gandhari, um, she was unhappy when she got a girl child, and when Mother Kunti has got a male child. So this shows that everybody here is affected by this material nature. I mean, I was reading a text from Chaitanya Prabhu today that we think something, but we end up doing something else because because of desire, and the material nature will give you options according to our desire, and it is up to us to choose right action from that, and or reject any action. So Gandhari, even though she is so devotee, but still she was also having that jealous nature, as Hina Mataji was saying. Even those days, people were having this kind of nature as well. And Mother Kunti, she never asked Pandavas to fight, but for the sake of Brahmanas, she asked Bhim to kill the demon because they were actually disturbing the Brahmanas. That shows that how important the Brahmanas are for this world. That's all, Prabhuji. From the...
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, very, very good points, Prabhu. Yeah, not the points you made. And yeah, they were guests in the house of the Brahmanas, as we remember, and it was like they felt it was a duty to help them, and yeah, they killed like that. And the other thing is what you said earlier on was that Krishna knows your weaknesses. You know, we all have weaknesses, even though we might be great devotees. We are still human, and human frailties are there. Men might have their type of frailties, females will have their type of frailties, but this human body has has issues with it. It has defects, four types of defects we all have as a conditioned soul that we cannot escape. We can work on it, but by being, at least first of all, being aware of our imperfect senses and illusion and cheating propensity, like that, we know that we have these issues, so we can be conscious of them and work on them. But we inherited these problems, and as well as these, there's other issues as just mentioned here about the frailties, and we just have, as devotees, we just have to work on ourselves, really. But I suppose like something that is just natural and is part of the pastime as well. So this had to happen. But I mean, you're right, if you think about it, that it's like very extreme to going to extreme actions to produce a child, because Kunti had a baby. Now she has to have one by beating her stomach. Like, yeah, it's it's something to really think about. That even we might be. I mean, she was a devotee of Lord Shiva.
Yeah.
So, and so she had some issues and attachments to material life. Obviously, I mean, she. I guess if you think about it, then is being just being devoted to a god or a demigod enough? It doesn't seem like it's enough. We have to be detached. This is what Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, that first of all we got to realize that we are spirit soul, and then we have to detach ourselves from material life, and then even that's not enough. It's not enough to understand we are spirit soul. It's not enough. So what? We are spirit soul. What about it? Then we have to understand that because we are spiritual, this material things are temporary, we are eternal. So temporary and eternal should not, we should not worry too much about the temporary things. This is what Krishna was trying to tell to Arjuna, that soul is eternal, material life, material body is temporary. So don't get too much hooked about that. So be detached to material life. We still have to live in the world, but be detached to it. You don't overindulge or get over, caught up in it. But even that's not enough. When you're detaching, then we have to attach ourselves. And the only person we should be looking to attach ourselves is to Lord Krishna, because that's where the satisfaction lies, because that is, who we are meant to serve end of the day, Lord Krishna. And I suppose these things were missing at that time. Or you can call yourself a devotee, but whose devotee are you? And Srila Prabhupada has taught us that if you want to be a devotee, if you want to serve, then serve Lord Krishna, because he's the seed-giving father. He's our father, and this, he's a Pradhan Pita. We have to serve him, and then we will not get so caught up in the material life, material requirements, or material attachments. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Preet Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvad Pranam. Yeah, thank you for the class, Prabhuji. I don't think I've got anything to add, but it's nice how Srila Prabhupada has explained about all the exalted personalities, all the ladies. So it's nice to hear about the reminder of Mahabharata, like you said. So, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so many issues, but yeah, so it's important that we follow Srila Prabhupada's philosophy and not get, follow this, that, all different philosophies, because then we'll just confuse ourselves. Srila Prabhupada says everything is in my books, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad-Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything is there that we need to know. Obviously we can read things if we need to, to increase our knowledge, but it should be within the range or scope of Krishna consciousness. We can check, but all the information there, trying to read about demigods and this and that, and we just confuse, because every scripture will glorify a particular demigod or whoever the book is about, but we got to remember the supreme Godhead is Krishna, and our focus, our energy should be directed towards that. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. I don't know why, I just went into shock, hearing everything about Mahabharata. So you just think that how come God had all his associates on the earth, and this kind of pastime was created? It's got so much trials and tribulations and tests, and every character had to go, so much adversity. And then on the other side, it shows about the closeness of the family and how they get together in adversity. And end of the day, the main lesson, I think, for all of us, which I feel among these pastimes, is the devotional service. That we have to realize ourselves, that we have to become self-realized, that we are not these bodies, we are the souls. But it was so difficult during that time for these exalted associates to go through the life, to go through the pastimes. So what to think of us? So we have to hold on to this devotional service then, like anything. That's all I can say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so anyway, that's fine. So Monday we got overview, so no class or reading in the morning. Please do join in the evening. We'll do 7:45 till 9 o'clock with Vidya Prabhu, President of Iskcon Coventry, and let's hear from him on the, it's very nice pastime as well, and let's hear an overview on that, and then we can continue with the chapter 13. So look forward to that on Monday. So have a great weekend, and we'll catch up soon. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari.
Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.